my gosh, I always do this. I always do this whenever I'm doing YouTube where I forget to like add the stage or whatever. And then I'm just talking. Henry, technically it wasn't that you were early. It's that I was late. Hello. Hello. I am being mad shadowed on TikTok. I'm just going to leave this up on TikTok. Ew. This tastes disgusting. This tastes disgusting. Hey, everybody. Say hi in chat if you are on X, if you are on Instagram, and or if you are on YouTube. Say hi to me in the chat. Oh my gosh, this tastes disgusting. Has anybody ever used this? Oh my gosh. This. I'm throwing it out right now. Ugh. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. First of all, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. That like gloss or whatever, it has the nastiest taste. Oh my gosh. Ew. What's up is that I'm back. I'm just going to leave my TikTok on, even though I'm streaming on all the platforms until my phone runs out of battery. And I feel like, yes, hit the like button, like the stream, and share it. I think I'm going to start. Your skin is like skin. What the hell does that mean? I think I'm going to start going live on different platforms more aside from TikTok, because TikTok is wicked shadowing. Anybody knows that? Who uses TikTok? Anyone notice that? Thank you, madame. TikTok has been mad censoring recently. Mad censoring, mad shadowing. All they're doing is demure. Like, that's it. They're shadowing everything else. I don't know what happened. Like, it was already bad. I feel like it's gotten worse. Hey, Color Me Oakland. Hey, Benjamin. Yeah, I'm feeling like, okay, so what happened was that gloss that I just showed you guys, I just put on, and it had the most disgusting taste. The most disgusting taste. OMG. Yeah, you know what? Color Me Oakland. I think that's a really good point. I have noticed, thanks, Button Bell. Hey, Bell, I haven't seen you in a while. I think, you know what I noticed? Oh, and by the way, the reason why it's so dark in here on my like YouTube and stuff is because I lost my ring light. I lost my ring light. I don't know where it is, and I only have one. So, please like the stream and share the stream. And here's the thing, here's the situation. TikTok has been unmitigated garbage lately, okay? They have been so censoring my content, and not just mine, other people who makes content around the news and around the election and around Gaza. And I think that they're doing it because this is not necessarily new. Like, TikTok already had a huge censorship problem, but I feel like it's gotten much worse as we get closer to the election. Like, it's crazy. Yes, thank you, Belle. Oh, thanks for saying, Dan, that you like my hair. Okay, so you know that video that I posted on my other TikTok about Israel and about like people not liking the state? this guy commented on it, and which, by the way, you should follow me on my backup account if you don't already on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, which is just Hi Blakely is the handle. So thank you, Alawa. So then they're like, and yeah, keep liking and sharing the lives, guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But I feel like they're like really clamping down on the censorship as it's coming closer to the election, because TikTok already had a censorship problem. Already has a censorship problem, like really, really bad. But I noticed that not just myself, other creators who make content around the news, around the election, around Gaza, like wicked censored, wicked censored, like literally, like it's just crazy. It's just crazy how much they're censoring. Thank you for the heart on TikTok. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. Left Connect. So it's very annoying. It's very annoying. Especially since I'm always trying to find my people. Crimson Peak. I use Twitter a lot too. I actually kind of honestly low-key like being on Twitter more, even though, let's not get it twisted, Twitter censors pro-Palestine content too. And they're always amplifying the right wing. They just don't censor it as much as TikTok does. All of them censor. All of them censor. They all censor. It's just it's a matter of degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the platforms censor, it's just a matter of degrees. Like TikTok censors the most. They throttle your account the most. I would say probably Instagram is second, and then X is third, but yeah, X definitely censors. And because ever since Elon Musk has taken over X, they like really, really amplify right wingers. Thank you. Thank you, people who are sending me gifts on TikTok. People who they definitely censor on X, and they definitely amplify a lot of right-wing content, especially since Elon Musk has taken over. They're always amplifying right-wing content. But like I said, it's not as bad because TikTok is like ridiculous. Like TikTok censorship is like a joke, okay? Like you can have hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and they will still not show your content to people, okay? It doesn't matter if you have a lot of comments or likes or watch time, because that's what TikTok will say. They'll be like, oh, it's about comments and likes, and oh, thank you. It's about comments and likes and about watch time. But no, it ain't. And they prove that they censor you because I'll have really good watch time on TikTok, have a lot of followers, have a lot of comments, have a lot of likes, and they still be only showing my videos to like 300 people. Like, what? I see you. I see you. Okay. Hey guys, hey everybody. Hey everyone. Thank you for the roses. Oh, I need this way better. Thank you. Anyhow, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it, and sharing the live. So, I just got back from South Carolina. Not South Carolina, North Carolina. There actually isn't like a structure to this live like I usually have. I kind of just want to like hang out with you guys and see what everybody's up to. Yeah. Like it's not necessarily like a this is a structured like live about the news like I usually do. Like usually my lives are more structured. I have like specific news events I want to talk about. But like that's not really this. This is just kind of like a hey everyone. Hey everyone, I'm back. Like I just got back from North Carolina. I said South Carolina, but I meant to say North Carolina. And how is everybody? It's just that. It's just, I just got back from North Carolina. How is everybody doing? Okay. I missed you guys. No, I'm not going to the DNC. I wish I could. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. That would be so fun to go and protest at the DNC. But no. No, I can't. The only reason why I was in North Carolina was because of my husband's family. But where is my shirt from? It's just a white shirt. I don't even remember where I got it. It's just a white shirt. Uh yeah, I'm happy to be with you guys again. Happy to see everyone again. I wish I could go to the DNC, but like, come on. Like, I can't afford to go to the DNC. I absolutely not. It costs a lot of money. You got to get travel, you got to fly there, you got to have room and board and all that shit, like um all that kind of stuff. So, no, I will not be going to the DNC. I will be covering it though. Hey Moonflower. I will be covering it though. I'll probably do a lot of content about it that they're probably going to suppress because they don't like when we talk about Gaza, okay? They don't like when we talk about the Democrats. I'm ready for Barack Obama's speech. Is Barack Obama speaking at the DNC? Is he? What? Is he really? Is Joe Biden going to? I don't have any updates for you guys on that. You guys are asking me who I'm voting for. I don't have any updates on that. I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm still undecided at this point. Hey, Arthur. Yeah, it would be embarrassing if they didn't let Joe Biden speak. That would be like pathetic. No, Obama is not our current president. Joe Biden is. Yeah, the thing is, you guys, I don't want you guys starting to get in a huge fight in my comments about Jill Stein, but the thing is that like I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. I honestly, if you guys really want the truth, okay? Hey Osama. Hey. Hey. Um if you guys really want the truth, okay? Um it probably will be hilarious random farm about Jill Stein and how I feel about Jill Stein. It's that I voted for Jill Stein in 2016 and people cried and were like, "Oh, you helped Trump," even though like I didn't help Trump because I live in New York. So, honestly, the real truth of it is that as much as I do believe that voting does matter and you should vote, hey Tariq, thank you from Saudi Arabia. Hey. I told you guys, I love when you guys tell me where you're following me from and it's like a different country. I think it's really cool. Okay, guys, if you're on TikTok right now or on any other platform and you're asking me over and over again who I'm voting for, listen please to the answer. I already told you guys, I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. I don't really want to vote for her again this time. I don't know if you guys noticed, maybe this is some of your first elections, but like real talk, Jill Stein kind of like comes out every 4 years to run for president and then doesn't do anything in between. Like a lot of people don't want to hear that, but like it's kind of how she rolls. Like she doesn't really do anything in between. She doesn't really do any activism work in between. And then she just like comes and runs for president every 4 years. And like I said, I know this because I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. Hey, from Cork, Ireland. Ireland. That's where my ancestry goes back to. Okay. I'm not Irish, but it's like my great 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 grandparents were from Ireland. Hello from NYC, Bernardo. That's where I am. I am in NYC. That's why I'm like, when people like want to argue with me about like what I'm going to do, it's like I think that voting is important, but like let's be real for a second. The people that are going to decide this election live in 5 states. They live in 5 states. Somebody said, well, you should vote for the Green Party because it'll make them viable in the future. I think that we need to talk. I definitely think that we need to do something about this two-party system, the two-party system that keeps us in this chokehold. But at the same time, the Green Party, they really haven't done much, honestly. They really haven't done much, like on the ground, organizing. Now, I don't want to say that to like smear everybody that's done work on the Green Party. There are some really, really good activists who have done really, really good work in the Green Party. But I think that when it comes to the Green Party, there's like a lot lacking. You know what it is? What drives me crazy is that every 4 years, people are like, vote green. And then no one's doing anything outside of the electoral system to get rid of the things in our electoral system that actually hurt. That actually hurt. Oh my gosh, you guys, my eyes are watering. Okay. No one's actually doing anything in the two-party system that would actually matter after, right? Like, I'm talking about fighting for ranked choice voting. I'm talking about fighting to get the electoral college to be abolished. And I don't even abolish is like a strong word. I don't even mean that through constitutional amendment because I know that it would be hard to do that. Even though it shouldn't be, the Constitution was made to be the Constitution was made to be changed, was made to be amended. That's the word that I'm looking for. But we haven't amended it in forever. We've made it really hard to amend. It shouldn't be hard. But the point is that I'm not even talking about a constitutional amendment. I'm talking about the initiatives that have made it so that people who whatever the state goes to, all of their electoral votes go to that. It's an initiative that's been going on for a while that says, hey, why don't we give all of our electoral votes to whoever wins the popular vote, and thus making the electoral college completely null and void, making it unimportant, making it irrelevant. I don't see enough people organizing around that. Okay? I don't see enough people organizing around that. I don't see enough people organizing around ranked choice voting. It's just every 4 years, somebody goes, let's vote for the Green Party. And I'm not trying to shade anybody that has volunteered for the Green Party because I think that they have done some good work. But like people like Jill Stein, they just come and run for president every 4 years. And they're not really putting that much effort into state and local elections. And then they want us to vote for them every 4 years. And then they don't win. And then either Trump or the Democrat wins. And then we just keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. I agree that the two-party system needs to be dismantled. We need more options, especially since there are huge differences. Like the left and the Democratic Party have very little in common. They really do. Leftists, progressives, Democrats, they don't really have that much in common. And yet they are often umbrellaed under the same thing. They're often put under the same umbrella when it comes to voting because of the fact that we only have two parties, right? So that's one of the unfortunate parts of it. But the thing is that Gangrene Thumb, that is a good point too, that Democrats. But Gangrene Thumb, that's actually a good point about how the Democratic Party fights to keep Green Party candidates off the ballot. That is true. But again, that's where the two-party system that needs to be broken up, it needs to be done in ways where like we're fighting for ranked choice voting. We're fighting for states to give up their electoral votes to whoever won the popular vote. We're fighting against gerrymandering because the problem is not just that they're keeping Green Party candidates off the ballot. The problem is that the two-party system has all the power in the first place. The question isn't just why are Democrats keeping third-party people off the ballot? The question is, why do the two parties have so much more power than everyone else? Why do they even have the power to keep Green Party candidates off of the ballot? They shouldn't even have the power to keep Green Party candidates off the ballot. We should have multiple parties. We should have parties, Green Party, Socialist Party, Communist Party, I don't know, on the right-wing side, fascist, Christian nationalist, Republican right-wing party, right? We should have a lot more options, but we don't. The question is not just like, oh, Democrats are keeping the Greens off. Why do they have the power to even do that? It's because we have such an entrenched power system that's only the two parties. And honestly, I know a lot of people on the left don't want to hear that, but just voting for Jill Stein is not going to change that. Yes, guys, that's correct, because the US is not a functioning democracy. It's functionally an oligarchy. It's functionally a plutocracy. Because I don't know, it just frustrates me because I feel like the conversation never goes beyond, like, if we're talking about Democrats and the left and voting and third parties and all of that stuff. I just hate that the conversation always begins and ends at, okay, fuck the Democrats, let's vote third party. And then what? Then what? No, but somebody just wrote, well, if Kamala Harris wins, there won't be a Dem primary until then. Do you guys listen? The Democrats hate the progressives, right? Grizz Mac said, I no longer involve myself in the political process. Yes, I understand that sentiment, that kind of fuck it sentiment. But then when people say things like, well, we don't really even have Dem primaries, the corporate Democrat always wins. You know why? Because the left doesn't vote. That's why. There is so much fuckery that happens within the Democratic establishment and the Democratic Party. But one of the reasons why they're able to get away with that is because there is no consequence from the left. This is a perfect example, you guys. What happened to Cori Bush is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. What happened to Jamal Bowman is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. There were people that were like, I can't believe that the only two Congress people that were anti-genocide got kicked out of Congress. They lost their primaries. You know why? Because the left doesn't vote. You know who votes? Democrats, corporate Democrats, regular Democratic voters win. Yeah, and you know why Ilhan Omar won? Because the Muslim vote in Minnesota knew what was happening. They knew what they were doing. And they were like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's why. What I'm trying to say is this, okay? People are getting upset that the left never makes any progress, electorally, we're talking about. And that the same people, that the very rare people that are on the left that got into Congress just got booted out by AIPAC. But the reason for that is because so many people on the left don't vote. Somebody wrote, Bowman and Bush are traitors to the left and traitors to the working class, no different than corporate Dems. What did they do that was traitors to the working class in Congress? They voted against the infrastructure bill, which was partially why they lost. Because they didn't feel like it needed to happen. That's another thing. Where is the energy for AIPAC? Where is the energy? They supported Biden the whole way. No, they didn't. They voted against like 2 of his major bills, which is one of the things that AIPAC ran ads against them for. AIPAC, when they were running ads against Bush and Bowman, were running ads reminding their voters that they voted against the infrastructure bill and against Biden. AIPAC didn't vote them out. Real people did. Yeah, no shit. AIPAC paid for it. I love when people go, oh, AIPAC didn't matter. It was just their constituents. Why do you think that AIPAC would spend the money to vote? Yes, Iori, I hear you. There's no one on the left to vote for. Again, because a lot of people on the left are against electoral politics and they don't show up. They just say, fuck the system. But you know who doesn't say fuck the system? Zionists, AIPAC, right-wingers, corporate Democrats. If AIPAC didn't think that voting mattered, they wouldn't spend millions and millions and millions of dollars in primaries. Why is AIPAC spending millions and millions of dollars in primaries? They spent over $20 million to unseat Jamal Bowman. Why would they do that if they didn't think it mattered? I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. Yeah, I get what everyone's saying about the fact that America doesn't function as a democracy. It's like a business, it's an oligarchy, it's a plutocracy. I totally get that. It's true. But we can't just stop at the critique and about like what's going on. Where is the and? Where is the and, you guys? And then what? Like I said, I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. It ends when it all collapses. Yeah, but Grizz, when it all collapses, what happens to everyone? What happens to everybody? Can unionizing and general strike and mutual aid take time? Take time. Do you think that those unions just appeared, or do you think that people who have been busting their ass in unions have been working their asses off for years to get to the point they're at? And by the way, the unions have endorsed Kamala Harris. General strike, that takes years in a country like ours. Because our country is so set up against workers, we have to like organize that. Also, I'm going to lose my mind if one more person talks about how they're not going to vote, they're going to do mutual aid. I'm going to start needing receipts. Because I can't even get you guys to, so much of the time, I can't even get you guys to donate to one of the GoFundMes I share about Gaza. Okay? I can't even get you guys to watch through the video. Some people don't have money. I totally get that. I'm broke as fuck. I hear you. I feel you. But it doesn't cost you anything to share a video. It doesn't cost you anything to make a video your story, to watch it all the way through so that it gets more engagement, to comment on it. But I'm supposed to believe that you guys are ready for the revolution and you guys are ready for mutual aid when I can't even get you guys to freaking watch one of the GoFundMes that I make about a family in Gaza that I'm trying to fundraise for. Can we be for real for a second? Yes, Ken, now is a good time to start. What are you doing? Vote. Like, this is the problem, is that even the people that are leftist that don't want to vote still look at it as the end all be all. You look at it as the end all be all of I'm not voting, that's the answer. Wait a minute. Are you doing mutual aid right now? Are you doing mutual aid right now? And I'm going to need you not to get super defensive because you just said fuck you to me. I'm going to need you to not get super defensive, okay? Are you doing mutual aid? Are you trying to help people who are struggling to survive? Are you organizing in your community? Are you organizing initiatives around what it is that you say that you want, this revolution? Because honestly, and I know, but here's the thing. This is not listen, Ken. I need you to stop being so defensive and actually have a conversation. And yes, I mean, I guess I accept it. I know I'm going to piss some of you guys off. It won't be the fucking first time. It won't be the fucking first time. I've pissed off my own community before when I say shit that you don't want to hear. But I'm trying to have a conversation with you. This is not just about what you want to hear. This is about what I actually think. And we should be having a conversation, not just, I'm going to say what I say and then be like, fuck you. Ken, you just said fuck you to me. That is your feelings. You are in your feelings right now. If you were not in your feelings, you would not be writing, you're advocating for a genocide party. I'm not advocating for shit except for organizing and yes, voting. Even if you vote for somebody I don't agree with, yes, you should still vote. Voting, I'm not saying that voting is the end all be all of anything. I'm saying it's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum that you can do. You should be organizing against gerrymandering. You should be organizing against ending the electoral college in the capacity that states actually offer it. You should be organizing for ranked choice voting. All you're doing by voting is voting who's going to be the person that's your opponent as you are taking place in this organizing. That's all it is. It's just saying who's going to be sitting at the top of our empire while we're doing this organizing. That's literally all I'm saying. Who is going to be sitting at the top of our empire while we are doing the organizing? That's all I'm asking. Also, what are we doing to fight against AIPAC? What are we doing to fight against AIPAC? I'm not telling you not to, Ken. I'm not telling you not to. You vote for whoever you want to vote for, however your conscience tells you to vote. But I need you to ask yourself some of the questions that I'm asking and not get defensive and not just tell me fuck you and not just say, oh, you love genocide. I need you to actually walk with me here. If you can, Pero, for anybody in TikTok who's asking, I'm streaming on multiple platforms. So Ken is in my YouTube chat. Ken, you can't get butthurt that somebody said that you were propping up AIPAC or that you love AIPAC when you're calling everyone in the chat genocidal. Like, you're sitting in the chat attacking other people in the chat, attacking me, calling them genocide defenders, and then you get all in your feelings and butthurt when somebody calls you AIPAC. Like, you know what? If you are going to call me names, you can get the fuck out of my chat. How about that? How about that? I am fine to talk to anybody that disagrees with me. I am fine to talk to anybody who's even mad about the position that I'm taking. That's fine. But if you're going to literally scream obscenity names at me, you can see yourself the fuck out. You should be able to engage in an adult conversation or debate without acting like a fucking lunatic. Yeah, I'm done with Ken. I'm kicking Ken out of my chat. I am done with Ken. When Ken is like, just Ken, for those of you who are on TikTok who don't know, is in my chat right now on YouTube, screaming at us, saying that we love genocide, fuck us, you know, like a bunch of other shit, like, and then is upset that people are and calling people names and, you know, all this kind of shit where it's like, okay, whatever. First of all, I need to kick, where'd he go? I'm kicking Ken out of my chat. Because again, I'm not saying that you guys can't disagree, that you can't vehemently disagree. I'm not even saying don't criticize me. I get criticized all the fucking time. That's like my life, all right? I'm criticized all the fucking time. And you know why one of the reasons why I get criticized so much? Why I get criticized so much? One of the reasons why I get criticized so much is because I don't always fit the exact narrative that somebody online wants me to fit. If I say something about voting, I'm a Democratic shill. If I say, hey, why don't we stop killing Palestinians? Then I'm just a leftist that's trying to like burn the country to the ground. So then like I piss everyone off. Green Thumb Road, I'm concerned to speak out because I could lose my job. I'm afraid to even write the name of the pack you're talking about. Thank you, Gangrene Thumb. I appreciate the super chat or the donation. The thing is that I already lost my job. So that's the reason why I can talk the way that I do. And I totally understand that. I understand people are afraid to speak out about what's happening in Gaza because you will be targeted. You will. I have been targeted. That's the reason why I always laugh when people are like, when I'll see people, let me just tell you this story real quick. This is going to what Gangrene Thumb said. I had made a video that pissed off leftists, okay, because I was saying that we should vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm saying you should vote. And I made a video, and this leftist person on my Twitter said, like, fuck you, I'm unfollowing you, you're just shilling for genocide, blah, 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 blah. I'm glad you got followers out of it, or something to that effect, which really made me laugh because the idea that people like me who are making content, trying to spread awareness and bring attention and advocate for the people in Palestine are doing so because of monetary benefits and followers is LOL. Like LO fucking L. Like the idea that it is beneficial to us socially and economically to be advocating for the Palestinians is laughable. Laughable. Like it's ridiculous. I have lost so much since I started talking about Gaza. I have lost jobs, job opportunities. I used to do brand deals. I lost all of those. I have lost people that I used to be acquaintance with and friends because they said that I was anti-Semitic. Like you get censored on platforms, you get your content taken down, you get shadow banned, you get penalized. Like this idea that we're somehow being rewarded by being pro-Palestinian is unironically deranged. That's why I never get mad at anybody when they say that that they're scared to speak out. Unless they are rich and famous. If you are rich and you are famous or you're in a position of power, you have no excuse not to speak out. No excuse not to speak out. I'm talking about, I understand why like regular people like Gangrene Thumb are afraid to speak out. Because people have lost their jobs. You are ostracized, you are alienated, and you are smeared. But thank you, Gangrene, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And somebody else I want to take a minute to thank. Oh, thank you guys who have sent me gifts on TikTok. Is Saeed. You are amazing. He gifted 50 memberships to my YouTube channel. So if any of you guys want to become a member on my YouTube channel to support my work and the work that I do and the content that I make, Saeed just gifted 50 memberships so you can get them for free because Saeed is based and he's awesome. And thank you. Wait, I got to catch up on this. OMG, somebody actually wrote, if you really care about Palestine, go over there and fight for Palestine. You and your woke Palestinian people are annoying us. We don't care. I love when you say go to Palestine as if that's an option. Do you not understand that you can't get in there? They won't even let journalists in there because they don't want people to see that they keep targeting journalists. Liam. I'd like for Liam to understand that you can't get into Gaza. I couldn't go to Gaza even if I wanted to because they won't let anybody foreign in. They won't let anybody foreign in. They won't let journalists in, foreign journalists. The fact that people actually write that. Yeah, I've had a lot of I that's why it's just so absurd. I've had so many people go after me and harass me and threaten me. It happens on a daily basis. I got doxxed by some asshole that works for the Israeli embassy. And yet there are really clown shoes that will come out here and act like you're benefiting by being anti-genocide. Like this is just it's so stupid. It really is. I've never gotten I think I only actually got the most people will get the go back to your country or whatever because like they're racist and Islamophobic, but I usually don't get that because being somebody who's like a white American, I generally have never really gotten that up until recently, where because I advocate for the freedom of the Palestinians, I'll have Zionists a lot come to me and go, oh yeah, you live on stolen land in America. Why don't you go back to where you came from? Banger. Gotcha. Checkmate. Oh, hey, West. Yeah, it's just so exhausting. Thank you very much, Saeed, for the gifting the memberships. I know they think it's like a checkmate. They think that it's a thing. Or I will get, why don't you go to Gaza and see what happens to you? You know what? It's really funny because they love to write their like sexual fantasies and stuff about what would happen to you if you went to Gaza. But like, first of all, aside from the fact that I wouldn't be able to get into Gaza because of the Israeli regime, the other thing is I have only ever been treated so well by Palestinians in Gaza. Like if I went to Gaza, I have no doubt that they would be like the most amazing people because everybody that I've ever met that has been Palestinian and people in Gaza have been like the most amazing, loving people. Like the most amazing, loving people. Check this shit out. Sometimes people in Gaza who I communicate with, that I talk to, that are actually in Gaza right now, despite everything they're going through, they will ask me how I'm doing, which is so wild to me because they're the ones who are going through genocide. They're the ones who are going through this horrific situation. And yet they'll still be like asking me how I am. Like that's the kind of people that the people of Gaza are. Also, anyone who says that, why don't you go to Gaza? Those are also the same people that like have apparently never actually talked to anybody who's Palestinian. Not only that, but I've seen the Anthony Bourdain episode of Parts Unknown where he went to Gaza and it looked incredible and the food looked amazing and they were like the nicest people in the world. And Anthony Bourdain said that Gaza was one of the best places and the bravest and nicest people he had ever met. I'm going to take Anthony Bourdain's word for it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Northwest Nightmares. It's all projection. Every accusation is a confession. I always get threatened by like Zionists, like very graphic, really messed up threats. It's always from Zionists. Right, Iori. And then they talk about how afraid they are. It'll be like tourists walking around, like just like living their lives, living their best lives, like it ain't no thing. And then they'll turn around and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared, you guys. TikTok, keep liking the live. I'm seeing that you guys aren't liking it. All up in the comments, but not liking the live. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Lemuse. The thing is that, you know, and the thing is too is that like when it goes back to like Pitchfork, not gonna lie, kind of thought that too. I used to love to watch Anthony Bourdain's show when I was still drinking. I'd be like hungover and I would just like lay in bed and watch it and be like jealous that he would go to all these amazing places and like eat their amazing food. Yeah. So anyway, all you got to do to like the live is tap it. At least on TikTok anyway. I'm not sure how it is on Instagram or X. Thank you, random. The thing is too about it is I don't know, guys. I'm just like really tired. People keep just like coming into my comments and be like, "Oh my gosh, like it's either Zionists coming in to yell at me and cry and tell me to go to Gaza, or it's either, you know, people coming in to like yell at me because I haven't told them who I'm voting for because I already said I don't know who I'm voting for yet. I am undecided. I don't know what I'm going to do yet because I'm obviously upset about what's happening in Gaza in the genocide. But like one thing I can't even deal with is when people are like, we'll just let the country collapse. I'll be like, okay, so what's the plan? Well, we're going to let the country collapse. What about the people here? What about the marginalized groups here? You want them to just get hurt? Like, what? And if that's the case, at least say that. At least say that. Say, like, I don't care if people in the United States get hurt. We deserve it. Like, make that case then. Then say that. Don't make up, like, fake scenarios where there's going to be this huge, you know, uprising of third-party voters that are going to get Jill Stein into office and revolution is going to come. Don't. Just admit that if the country's going to collapse and a bunch of Americans end up getting hurt in the process during a fascist takeover, just say, look, I know that's going to happen, but we deserve it. America's been an empire for a very long time, and we have caused so much chaos around the world. It is about time the Americans reap what they sow. Just say that. It's more honest. I'm also going to lose my mind if I see one more person say that RFK is a viable option. RFK is a Zionist lunatic. Did you hear me? Also, the other thing, one more thing, and I made a video about this, but I didn't post it yet or whatever, because like I said, I've been being so insanely censored on TikTok and all the other platforms. But here's the other thing. The other thing is, first of all, don't come in here with RFK. Like, do not come in here with RFK. But the other thing is, whenever you guys talk about this revolution, how come none of you guys ever think about the fact that we would lose? How come nobody ever thinks about that? What up? How do you feel about the land back? As far as I know, I think it sounds great, but honestly, I would be lying if I said that I fully understood what the whole movement was about. I know it's about like reparations for Indigenous Americans and giving them tribal lands back, but some people say it's about like kicking other people who are not native out of the country. I don't think that's what it is, but I need to educate myself more on the land back movement. If you guys have any recommendations of people who speak and are educated about what land back is, let me know and I'll look for their stuff. Um yeah, the thing is that I want to remind everybody of that if there were to be a revolution right now, you guys, we would lose. We would lose. That's what I feel like a lot of people are not thinking about. The people that would take over if we had a revolution right now would be the right. It would be the right wing. They're the ones who have all the weapons. They're the ones who have the freaking plan. And they're also the ones with all the money. Also, I feel like a lot of people don't think about the implications of what they mean when they're talking about revolution because it's like you guys forget that we don't have a massive military. You think this military wouldn't be turned against us? Yeah, what up? But you're very rare. Most people on the left are not armed. Not only that, but again, I feel like people forget that America, when we had the first Revolutionary War, was not a superpower. America's a superpower. We've seen what the American government and what the military is capable of doing around the world. You think they wouldn't turn that shit inward? What? Hey, Rochelle, but Rochelle, I'm talking about the kind of revolution that I see leftists talking about, one in which there's literally no organization on the ground. BB told them they would what? That's the other thing too, is that like a lot of people on the left are not actually willing to put themselves on the line in a way that the right is. Like you guys underestimate how many people on the right would be willing to give up their lives for like white supremacy and capitalism. Big boss, it's more than that. It's 800 billion. America spends 800 billion against, I mean, in the military every single year. Guys, in a way, that's the thing that I feel like people don't understand. We kind of already are in the midst of a revolution. It's just that we're losing. Because if you guys notice the cop cities that are being built all over the United States, if you guys notice the cop cities that are being built around the United States, the military budget, the fact that our military continues to militarize our police, the fact that they criminalize homelessness, the fact that they make it so that we can't afford housing. What do you think they're working toward? They're turning the empire of the United States is turning inward. They're setting it up now so that they can turn this violence inward on their own population. And it's happening now. I don't know why you guys want to accelerate that. I don't know why you guys want to accelerate that. Like, shouldn't we try to like fight AIPAC? Shouldn't we try to, I don't know. I don't see anybody talking about AIPAC, talking about the corruption in our elections. Heidenberg, if you're going to troll me or insult my appearance, you need to send a super chat. Okay? If you guys are going to be rude and make fun of my appearance, have the courtesy to send a super chat, okay? Or a donation to my Venmo. Americans should be pissed at AIPAC, but too many people don't care, is the problem. I just hate that so much of the arguments are just such a waste of time. They're a waste of time. Arguing about, Gaz, because he was being sarcastic. He was making fun of me. So much of the arguments that we have are a huge waste of time. And they're not getting us anywhere. I'm Brad, that's true. I'm glad that the conversations, thanks, what up? I'm glad that the conversations are happening online, but like recently it hasn't seemed productive. It's just been people attacking each other. Everybody is out to call each other privileged. Like, I'm so fucking over that word. Like, everybody's yelling at everybody, calling each other privileged. And that's the other thing is how is the left? Tell me how the left is supposed to be building this so-called revolution when the left are so mean to each other. How is that supposed to be a thing? When the left are so mean to each other. They're so mean to each other. Everybody wants to fucking cancel everybody and dogpile on everyone. I haven't been commenting on it that much because I don't want to engage in the dogpiling. But I've seen the videos where some leftists, like Mosquito Dorito or whatever his name is, or the Rohini communist guy who like has all the action figures, and people were saying he was like dating a young girl. Everybody's canceling him now. And it's like, I see the left, like they can't wait to start some drama. We can't wait to dogpile on everybody and cancel them and attack them. And it's like, the thing is about it is like, how are we supposed to supposedly organize and fight for this revolution, and we're going to come together and we're going to dismantle the system and blah 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 blah, when like we can't even be nice to each other. We can't even be nice to each other. Like, whoa. Oh, can you guys keep liking the live in TikTok, because it's starting to play games? But it's like, Rob, that's just not true. A lot of the left does not support Kamala. What do you think all these fights are about? A ton of people on the left do not support her, and that's why so many people are fighting. I'm not saying that everybody has to be so nice, but what I am tired of is hearing leftists lecture people about abolition and prison abolition, and then somebody like says something they don't like on TikTok and you want their lives ruined. You become the most carceral motherfuckers on the planet. That's what I'm tired of. It is a lot of people. You don't spend as much time on social media as I do, apparently. It is a lot of people. Sherry, of course I'm not saying that every single leftist is the same. Of course I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are too many people that are so busy jumping online talking about left this, revolution that, let's come together and take down the system. And then you look at their page and all they do is attack other people and want to like punish them. Well, Sherry, I'm not actually just sitting on here bitching. I'm having a conversation with people. We are talking about voting, not voting, supporting Kamala, supporting Jill Stein, not voting at all, revolution, is it a good or a bad idea? That's not sitting around and bitching. I'm having a conversation. We're having a conversation. Yes, and you're free to be here or not. I just don't understand why we've allowed acceleration. Oh, I missed that comment. I don't understand. Yes, we do have to start somewhere. And that's what we're trying to work out. Like, I think that a lot of people are just really uncomfortable with saying that they don't know. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Julian, for the super chat. I appreciate it. The way that we get this ceasefire is not through a revolution, it's through convincing Kamala that she needs to win, which is true. Yeah, the thing is, too, is that it's like, first of all, the ceasefire is the absolute bare minimum, the bare minimum. But like, the thing is about when people say, like, even if you aren't going to vote for Kamala Harris, you shouldn't just like say that openly to let people know that they don't even need to try to earn your vote. If people know that they're not going to even need to try to like get your approval or get your vote, then they don't even need to fuck with you. Like, you should be trying, whether you're going to vote for her or not, to organize against the party for a ceasefire. Bare minimum. The real thing should be attacking AIPAC. There was a time in this country where taking money from the NRA was a regular course of action that every Democrat did. Then people organized and made it so toxic for the Democratic Party to take the NRA that now all of them pretend like they never took money from them. They all are like, hey, NRA, new phone, who dis? None of them even like acknowledged that they used to take money from the NRA. Why? Why? Because voters made it toxic for them. That's what people need to do with AIPAC. People need to make AIPAC so toxic that Democrats will be afraid to take money from them. That's also what needs to happen. Someone wrote on X, how did pushing Biden left work out for everybody? He's gone. That's how it worked out. It actually did work because he's fucking out of the race. Hold on, I need to thank the other people for the super chats they sent. Thank you, Linda, for the super chat. It's too late here in Sweden, but please. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you. Somebody else sent a super chat, a super sticker. Bernardo did. Thank you, Bernardo, for the sticker. I appreciate you. Yeah, there's just so much like ridiculousness sometimes when people go, oh yeah, how did that work out with attacking Biden? I spent months attacking Biden, saying he should get out of the race, protesting, and guess what happened? Guess what happened? His ass is out. So don't tell me that protesting and that trying to push people totally doesn't work. I'm not saying it always works, but it works sometimes. Theater of the Absurd wrote past the collection plate, and yes, it is an important conversation. I think organizing should start at the universities because the universities already have the organizations there. That's a really good point, Theater. First of all, thank you. I love you. Thank you, Theater of the Absurd, for the super chat. I appreciate you all who help support the work that I do. And that's a good point. A lot of the organizing does start at the university level. A lot of these people don't even learn about what is happening in the world until they get to college and they create some of these. What's her name? The head of Columbia just stepped down yesterday. Had to step down. Bye, guys. Thank you. Well, Sherry, that is a good example then of like action that we can take that matters. Like that is a good place to start. One of the places that we start, I agree with you, is going after them. Because when we see what's happening in the country and we see what's happening in Israel and in Gaza, we have to look at, okay, wait, how is this happening? Why is this happening? Like I didn't even know. Like I always am like saying to you guys, like I didn't have any idea the history between the United States and Israel before October 7th. So I was super ignorant about it. And then when I started finding out, I started like realizing like, okay, so why do we support Israel so unconditionally the way we do? And then you start peeling that back and you realize there's giant infrastructure. There's lobbying groups, not just AIPAC. We talk about AIPAC as AIPAC is the most famous. They are not the only one. There's like 40. And then you start looking at the fact that all these things start to get all like connected and the money and the law, and you're like, oh my gosh, those are the things that need to be attacked. Like those are the things that we should be going after. We should be going after because if we think about it, we know that America is an imperial corporatocracy, plutocracy, right? And all they care about is money. Our lawmakers do not care about us. They do not give a shit about us at all. They wouldn't piss on us if we were on fire. That's how our lawmakers feel about us. Somebody just said to me, yeah, but have you put as much effort and research into the Islamic Republic of Iran? No, you know why? Because we don't give them money. We don't give them money. My tax dollars aren't going to fund Iran. That's why I'm not. If anything, what I know about Iran is that we're fucking with them way too much and we need to stop trying to saber rattle war with them. Also, yes, Leah, that's correct. Yes, it does. But what I'm saying is, how do you dismantle it? When people say dismantle the system, the question becomes how. And one of the ways that you do that is by going after the money. The only thing these people care about in this country is money. They don't care about the people. They don't care about poor people. They don't care about anybody in this country. They care about money. And who is giving them money? AIPAC, the ADL, J Street, corporations, oil companies, big tech. Those are the things that we need to be going after. I wish we could all stop paying taxes. That would be super base, but for some people it's not even an option. They just take taxes out without giving them an option. That's part of it. That's what people mean when they say organize. And boycott too. Yes, of course. Yeah, exactly. How is it that I have been on live for over an hour? Guys, I've been on live for over an hour. How did that happen already? And yet, I need you guys to keep liking the live on TikTok. Please. This was a great live, but I have to go. Thank you, Julian. I'm just like, guys, when I think about organizing, I think about what ways can we tackle the powerful, and the way to tackle the powerful is through money, because it's the only thing this country cares about. The only thing the country cares about is money. That's the reason, thank you, fashion. That's the reason why I was upset that AIPAC successfully ousted Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman. Because not only did they take out two lawmakers who were actually pro-Palestine, actually pro-ceasefire, and didn't take money from AIPAC or corporate entities. But by them successfully taking them out, they sent a chilling message to other lawmakers to be like, don't you dare ever challenge Israel or challenge AIPAC or else. That is a chilling message. Yeah, anybody who doesn't already have a screenshot of BDS on their phone should. Anybody who doesn't already have a screenshot of BDS on their phone, everybody should have a list of the BDS boycott list and be acting accordingly, boycotting accordingly. You guys saw how much money McDonald's lost, right? Ooh. They lost a lot of money. McDonald's did. Also, they yeah, the No Thanks app is like an app where you can check to see if something is made there. And you know how earlier, thank you, Fareed. You know how earlier, guys, I said to yes, Rochelle, money in the local economy, yes. Also, you guys remember how I said that, like, for people who say that they aren't going to vote at all, they say, oh, well, I said earlier, like, if APAC didn't think voting mattered, it wouldn't spend $20 million in a Democratic primary, not even a general election, that a Democratic primary to oust a lawmaker. If voting didn't matter, if their voting records didn't matter, they wouldn't spend that much money on it. The same thing goes for BDS. If you are not holding BDS on your phone, okay, and boycotting what they say, you should be, because if BDS didn't work, why do they keep trying to outlaw it? Why do they keep trying to outlaw it? BDS, the reason why they try to go after BDS and outlaw it is because they know that it does work. So they want to make it illegal. So A Holder, who said voting is an illusion and choice for blame when things go wrong. Well, y'all voted for Trump. Who's we? Because I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. Also, I would like to know then what you think is a better plan. Boycat Works, is that an app? Akila, I've been open about the fact that I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. I don't know. Because it's basically, at this point, it's a question of like, who do you want to hurt? Who do you want to hurt? A Holder said a better plan is a revolution and start over. Okay, what are you doing to plan for this revolution? And who do you want to die in the process? I would like an answer to that question, please. Yeah, I'm writing in Hamas. This person wrote, no one has to die. We outnumber them. I'm sorry, but this is the most childish shit I've ever heard. Let's have a revolution and start over, and no one has to die. Have you ever seen a revolution that was bloodless? And who's going to get hurt in this revolution? Who is going to die in this revolution? Also, where are we going to eat? Also, where are we going to stay? You just wrote, not if everybody stood together, but that's never going to happen. You're right, it's not going to happen. So why are you advocating for it? Why are you advocating for it if you know it's not going to happen? Further, when you say there's more of us, revolution, no one has to get hurt, do you not ever think about the fact that if there was a revolution, the people that would take over would be the fascist right? Do you guys forget that there's like a massive fascist right wing in this country? No, of course people would die. I'm not even going to deal with this foolishness of like, oh, nobody would die if we had a revolution. What? This is the hi, have we met? I have to believe that people saying this must not be American. Because if you know anything about America, we're one of the most violent countries in the world. We let children get killed in their schools. We let children get killed in mass shooting. And you think that we'd have a bloodless revolution? Have you met Americans? That's not the gotcha that you think it is. Yeah, this country is armed to the teeth. There's over 300 million guns in this country. Yeah, it's just that's just how revolutions work. Like this idea that like a revolution would be peaceful, like that I am very confused why anybody would think that. Yeah, and there are a lot of people that like I feel like don't realize or don't seem to care or aren't paying attention to the fact that there's a bunch of right wingers in this country that are just itching for us to get into a civil war, okay? Like genuinely want it. Like genuinely foaming at the mouth for a civil war. Sorry guys, I'm trying to move my thing cuz I need to plug my phone in. Of course, we don't have money for poor people in this country because this country hates poor people. I just want to know because when I talk about how I'm struggling about who I'm going to vote for, that I think that the reason why I'm struggling so much is because I am struggling with who am I going to hurt? Who do I want to hurt more? Because no matter who I vote for, somebody is going to get really hurt. If I don't vote, people are going to get hurt. If I vote for Kamala Harris, Palestinians continue to get hurt. If I vote for Jill Stein and I don't vote at all and Trump gets in office, I'm hurting Black people here, trans people here, Arabs here, marginalized people here. So it really is like when I think about voting, who do I want to hurt? Has anybody who is advocating for me to vote for Jill Stein again? Like I said, I voted for Jill Stein in 2016. Anybody who is advocating for me to vote for Jill Stein, why have you asked yourself the question of who it are you accepting the fact that if Trump were to win, that would partially, well, I guess in the swing states, I guess it doesn't really matter if you live in a blue state or a red state, but if you live in a swing state, have you just like accepted that there are going to be a lot of people in this country that are going to get hurt? Kennedy is a Zionist lunatic. I would never vote for him. Kennedy's an anti-vaxxer, and like that's the least of his problems. He's like, Iori said the hope is that more and more people vote for Stein, especially the left that doesn't vote. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen this movie before. In 2016, everybody said, vote for Jill Stein, vote for the third party candidate, and it'll really show the two-party system. And actually, it had the opposite effect. The Democratic Party actually moved further to the right, and the Republican Party moved further to the right. Also, good luck, like who says that the left is going to vote at all? Like, we're arguing about Jill Stein. There are a lot of people that aren't like, there are a lot of people that are on the left that will not vote at all. They're not going to vote for Jill Stein either, because Jill Stein has some imperial, American positions too. It's kind of impossible to be an American and not have some, America-centric imperialist opinion somewhere in you. Are they though, Sammy? Are they? Yeah, I would never vote for RFK. Guys, RFK was wait, did somebody just tell me to move to another country where I would be happy? Bro, I would never. I love when people say that. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Why don't you move to another country? Okay. Why? This is where I'm from. It is what it is. This is where I'm from. I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because this is my country. This is where I'm from. Some of you don't realize that. I'm like, I actually do, and I know I want to prep my leftists that I love you guys. But this one might trigger you too. I actually love this country. I am an American patriot. It's in my Twitter bio. It's in my bio. I love this country. This country is trash. This country is corrupt as fuck. Oligarchy up the wazoo. Plutocracy up the wazoo. Total garbage. However, it's my garbage. This country is trash, but it's my trash. And I don't believe in just like running away and being like, oh, I'm just going to move to another country. Well, no, this is the country that I am from and that I love, and I want it to not suck. Yeah, I know. And I know that that is something that people who are on the left really don't like to hear, because it's all like, if you're a leftist, Iori, I don't know who you're talking to, but I literally hear people say all the time to just like tear the whole thing down, ruin it, destroy it. It shouldn't exist. I would love to like live in other countries for a little bit, like travel. That'd be nice. It'd be cool to go to France. It'd be cool to I'd love to go to Ireland to learn about my heritage. Jaya, I know. I know it does. That's why I hate it. I hate what our country supports. I hate our government. But I can't not like love people around me, my family, my community. Of course I would love my family and my community, and but that doesn't mean that I like love my government. But just because I hate our government and I hate our system, just because I hate our government and I hate our system doesn't mean that I hate my people. I don't hate Americans. I don't just like I don't hate anybody except for Israel. I think that your stance is the right stance because it's honest and not generically. Yeah, Iori, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it does come from love. Like, I hate our government. I hate our system. I hate that we're a plutocracy and an oligarchy and that people don't have representation. I hate that our government is such a destructive force around the world. Like, people hate us in other countries, especially in the Middle East. I don't blame them. Why would anybody from Iraq not hate us? Why would anybody from Syria not hate us? Why would the Palestinians not hate us when we're funding the destruction of all their countries? I understand why they hate us. I hate our government too, but I don't hate my people. I don't hate Americans because most Americans don't have don't have as much power as people think that they do, or most Americans are just the sad thing is that a lot of Americans don't even know what the fuck their government does. They're poor people living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, just trying to survive in this capitalist hellscape that we live in. They don't even know what is happening, or they're brainwashed, or they're propagandized. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying that Americans shouldn't take responsibility. Like, we should have a responsibility to learn about what our government does, what our country is doing, and fight for a better one. Yes, I think we need to be responsible for that. But that doesn't mean that, like, I hate where I'm from. And you can say whatever, fuck you, that's America centric, that's whatever, that's colonizer, whatever. But, like, I'm not going to say that I hate my country. It's the only place that I know. And the people in America are the only people that I know, and my friends and my family and my community, and I love them. I want to see it get better. I want the system to change. I want the system to be dismantled so our country is better. And I want our government to reflect the will of the people instead of the will of corporations in Israel. I want our country to reflect the will of the human beings that actually live in America, the human beings that actually live in New York City and in California and Ohio and in Texas. I want it to reflect their will and not the will of right-wing zealots and Zionists that buy our politicians in Washington, D.C. All they do is work for all the politicians that are living in, like, all the politicians that are working in our country only work for Israel, and they work for the rich, and they work for the corporations and the oil companies against the interests of the regular people. My haircut is base, Ryan. Get out of my chat. He just insulted my haircut. Venmo is at I am Blakely. That's my rule. If you're going to be a little douche canoe and you're going to come in here and you're going to insult my appearance, you can Venmo me. Okay? So yeah, obviously, like, that's just like where I stand. And like I said, I totally understand why people in the Middle East hate us. Like, I totally understand it. When I was growing up, we were propagandized to believe that Arabs and Muslims hated us because they hated our freedoms. They'd be like, oh, Arabs and Muslims hate us, hate America, because that's why 9/11 happened, because they hate us because of our freedom. But like, obviously, like once I learned like what the truth is, I'm like, no, of course that's not why they hate us. They hate us because we won't stop fucking with their countries. They hate us because we keep propping up Israel. They hate us because we give Israel all this money. So yeah, I totally understand why anybody from Palestine would look at America and be like, I hate you. I would too if I were them. Why shouldn't they? But just because I understand the sentiment and I understand where they're coming from, or why anybody from Iraq or Syria or Egypt or Palestine would hate us, and I don't fault them for that, that doesn't mean that by default I have to hate my own country, or I have to hate us. Like, two things can exist at the same time, you guys. Like, I understand why Middle Eastern countries hate us, and I also love my country. I hate my country and I love my country. Having any these things can exist at the same time. In the same way that I hate my parents and I also still love them. Even though I haven't talked to my mom in 20 years, okay? I haven't talked to my mom in 20 years. I hate my parents, hate my dad, but I also love them. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about the United States, okay? I feel like I hate this country because I hate its government and I hate the people that run it. I hate the government here. I hate the people that run our country and the corrupt corporate oligarchs and the billionaires and the 1% that run this country, because that's who run this country. Zionists run this country, billionaires run this country, corporations run this country, the 1% runs this country, and they do so by bribing our politicians. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. This country is corrupt as fuck. It's for sale. And all of our politicians are owned and operated by the military industrial complex, the 1%, corporations, Zionists, and they do not represent the will of the American people. They don't need to, because the American people can't afford to give them lots of money. That's why. But I don't hate my people. I don't hate the American people. And I don't even think, I'm not even, somebody said like, oh, Palestinian people like don't hate every American. I'm not saying you guys do. I told you every Palestinian I have ever met has been some of the most amazing people that I've ever met. Really amazing people. Smart people, free people, not propagandized people, Palestinian Americans, Palestinians anywhere in Gaza, the most amazing people. What all I was saying was, for any Palestinian that would say, I hate America, I would say, I understand why. At the end of the day, it's overwhelming to think about how much work we're actually going to have to do. Yeah. No, they used to say that, guys. When I was a kid, I was a kid when 9/11 happened. When I was a kid and 9/11 happened, they literally used to say they hate us because they hate us, or they hate us because of our freedoms. They hate us because they hate us. They hate us because they don't want us to have freedom. I hate governments and corrupt governments, not their people. Yeah, they used to say Republicans used to say, um, Muslims are going to come here and they're going to implement Sharia law in Oklahoma, which If you're in the Middle East and you're watching this and you're not familiar with Oklahoma, Oklahoma is a like small rural state in the middle of the country. And the idea of that happening is laughable. 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 Senzu Bean saying not calling out will only continue the problem. Because it's not a problem of those particular people, it's a problem of their government and their Zionist ideology. You guys know that there are a lot of Christian Zionists too, right? Keep liking the live, guys, please, on TikTok. Sharia law in Oklahoma. I wish I could speak Arabic. I wish I could speak Arabic. That would be cool. Most of the Arab countries are Zionist. What? What? Who said that? Somebody just said most of the Arab countries are Zionist. That's not true. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people on the left are giving Jill Stein way too much credit. Like, what has Jill Stein done? Oh, Allie, you're nice. I don't know if that's true. I feel like saying that the Arab country leaders are Zionists is a stretch. If anything, I would say that they're just corrupt. Like they're corrupt sellouts. Because they would rather, did you guys know that during Trump's administration, the Egyptian government gave him over $10 million? And then the Egyptian government was also giving money in favor of bribes to our senators. One of our senators just got indicted for it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like calling them all Zionists is a bit of a stretch, especially since Zionism is an ideology. I feel like, if anything, you can call some of the Arab countries' leaders sellouts because, yes, some of them are super corrupt and do corrupt dealings with our senators here in the United States, like Egypt giving gold bars to like Bob Menendez, who is a senator here from New Jersey. And then you have people like Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, who did like a super corrupt deal with Jared Kushner, who was Trump's son-in-law right after Trump's administration. Did like a huge corrupt financial deal, and the Saudis gave Jared Kushner $2 billion. So yeah, I would say maybe they're corrupt. Because obviously they don't care. Like that's why that's why the Egyptians are charging Palestinians all this money to try to cross the Egyptian border to get out of Gaza. Yeah, I think that there's a tendency. Brian, you're not blocked. I think that there's a tendency to like forget that other countries are corrupt too. Other countries can be corrupt too, guys, not just the US. Like, because tell me why Egypt is charging all this money for Palestinians to get through the border. Like, you guys see that I do these videos trying to raise money for families in Gaza that are trying to evacuate Gaza. The reason why we're trying to raise money for them is because Egypt will not let them in without charging them a ton of money. Why do you think it is? This is a question for people in the Middle East, okay? This is a question for people in the Middle East. Are you ready for this? I only want answers from the Middle Eastern people who live in the Swana area, okay? I think it's Swana area is what it's called. Why is the Jordan leaders of Jordan has so many Palestinians in it. Why are the leaders of Jordan not saying anything about the genocide in Gaza, not trying to help? Hmm. I don't just mean to come there because I know that there are a lot of Palestinians that don't want to leave Gaza, and for understandable reasons. They don't want to leave Gaza because they know that if they do, that the Israeli regime is just going to take it and never give it back. So I understand that, but there are Palestinians who have tried to leave. I've talked to them. So, because I'm not putting that all on the Arab countries at all. Like, I do hold Israel first and the United States second, the most accountable for what's happening in Gaza. But yeah, there is the question that does cross my mind every once in a while. Like, I'm not saying that the Arab leaders should evacuate Gaza so that all the people in Gaza get ethnically cleansed from there. But I am saying is, where you guys be? Like, I don't even see them saying anything. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Jordan, Egypt. Like, where are you guys? Israel is doing the ethnic cleansing. Yeah, I guess maybe these leaders don't want to end up Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, that's good to know. Jordan has a field hospital in Gaza. Okay. Subzara wrote on my TikTok, it's very weird when Americans criticize MENA leaders not knowing they were installed by the US. Bro, I know that they were installed by the US. I just got done talking about how the US is really corrupt and they give bribes and we exchange bribes between Egypt and Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And I just finished saying that I specifically hold Israel first and the United States second accountable for what is happening in Gaza. But that doesn't mean that those other leaders in those countries are immune from criticism. Like they're above criticism because hashtag America bad. 1 in every 5 people in Lebanon is a Syrian refugee. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. Because literally all I was saying was like, why aren't they speaking out? Why aren't they speaking out? And people are like, how dare you? Dare you say anything about CC and BS? I just don't know how long this can go on or it's going to go on because it's just so unbearable. The whole thing is just so unbearable. Getting online and watching the destruction of Gaza every single day. And it just keeps going on. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes. I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes that it's still happening. It's still going on. That story I'm sure that most people saw from the other day of the husband who went to go pick up the birth certificate of his children and his wife and his children were bombed. And it's like, it's just every single day, photos of children, children, every single day, photos of babies. And it just keeps going on and on and on. There always has to be somebody that comes into my comments on one of the platforms whenever I talk about how horrible it is, the destruction of Gaza with whataboutism from some other country. Oh, yeah? What about Yemen? What about Sudan? What about Bashar al-Assad? Please stop the whataboutism. Please. Please stop the whataboutism. Not only that, but what also annoys me about people doing whataboutism when it comes to Gaza is that the situation happening in Gaza, the genocide happening in Gaza, oh, Boney Bird. What about Hamas? What about Hamas? Did you guys see? Okay, we need just 2 seconds of levity. Did you guys see the insanely embarrassing Elon Levy video that I did the parody of that I made fun of? It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. I can't. That guy is so embarrassing. It's really next level. He literally, for those of you who don't know, he was the Israeli spokesperson. He got fired for lying, which says a lot. You got to be a big liar to get fired from the liars brigade. So then he makes a video trying to like fearmonger about October 7th, but he won't let you watch it. He won't let you watch it. He's going to watch it and he's just going to react and just go, "Oh my gosh, like I'm reacting, but I'm reacting, but you can't see. You can't see everything I'm seeing. It's really bad, but you can't see it." Which also I always found really, really sus. I always found really, 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 really sus that they don't want people to see the footage. Why are you hiding it? If it's really that bad, if it's really that bad, because you guys are always talking about how bad it is. And people like Elon Levy are always like, Hamas, it's so bad. Well, why are you trying to hide it from us then? Why don't you want us to see it? No, I know. He's so embarrassing that even though he lost his job, he like created like a fake, like official background and put it on his background to make it look like he was like still working for the state. Like he had like he was like just creating TikTok videos and shit. Like just like creating TikTok videos. And then he was like putting his like background on it to make it seem like that he was like officially still working there. I was like, no, for real. He had like an official, like Israel looking background, like a government seal when he's not working there anymore to like try to make it seem official, even though it was just him on his phone. It was amazing. He's so embarrassing. He's so embarrassing. I can't find the footage on Telegram because they in America they blocked us from being able to follow the Qassam brigades in the United States. Also, I've seen some of the footage from when it first came out. Like when it first happened, like I saw it on Twitter and stuff. Um and one of the things that I wondered was one of the things that I want, yeah, from Al Jazeera. I've seen some of them on Al Jazeera. I've seen some of the clips on Twitter. One of the things I remember thinking was like a little bit after I started like reading about like what it was like to live in Gaza, I was like, wait a second. Why are they having a music festival near a concentration camp? That's weird. I tried to follow them on Telegram and I couldn't. It wouldn't let me. The servers wouldn't let me. Hmm. Yeah, old Bony Bird, that was literally like Elon Levy's whole thing. That's like all of their whole thing. It'll be all, this happened. We're like, oh, did it? Can you show us some evidence? They're like, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. That's what it is. So Elon Levy's making this video being like, guys, I'm watching the videos. It's really bad. I can't show you, but it's really bad. All of these atrocities happened. And then we're like, can we see? Can we see the evidence? And then they're like, no, trust me, bro. Trust me. You don't want to see it. Yeah, old bunny bird, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, I really can't stand when people talk about um Ukraine and compare it to what's happening in Gaza. What about Ukraine? Bro, Ukraine has an army. Ukraine has an army. No, I'm not advocating for Jill Stein. I'm not advocating for anybody at this point. Thoughts on the DNC? I hope a lot of protesters go. I cannot go to the DNC because it's in Chicago. It's on like the other side of the country and ain't nobody got money for that. I don't have money to fly to Chicago. Um yeah, I know. Ukraine is totally different. It's like not even in the same universe as what is happening in Gaza. I really hope though that people the reason why that I was able to go to DC, oh, thanks, Juliana. The reason why I was able to go to DC was because I'm not that far away from. Oh, thank you for the teddy bear, Buxom. The reason why I was able to go to DC was because I don't live that far away from DC. It's only about 5 hours and we were able to drive. But Chicago was way too far away from me. I would have to take a plane, and as I said, well, two things. Number 1, I'm afraid of flying. Planes scare me. Number 2, ain't nobody got money for that. Ain't nobody got money for that. I don't have money for that. No one has money for that. But I do hope that those of you who are in the United States who live close to Chicago to drive there, go there, protest. I feel like people need to have a big showing at the DNC. The DNC needs to have a big showing of people who are pro-Palestinian and anti-genocide to protest at the DNC. But then you kind of need to care about Ukraine. Yeah, I don't think we should be funding this proxy war in Ukraine. Ukrainians are dying because America is fighting a proxy war because we haven't left the 1950s and we still are in the Russia Red Scare. And people still think that Russia's coming for us and communism. It is so brain melted how there are people in the United States that really think communism is a threat. Like it's a joke. But they do. And part of that comes from this long-standing, embarrassing obsession that we have with thinking that like Russia's coming for us. And so Ukrainians are dying for it, and so are Russian soldiers. Like this thing is so ridiculous. This whole war in Ukraine is ridiculous. And we shouldn't be funding it. Thank you for liking the live. No, I know. Russia isn't even a communist country. But people are so outdated. They really are. First of all, Russia is not a communist country. But there are, no joke, people living in the United States that constantly say that and like red scare and red bait and talk about how like communism is coming for the US. Like it's so embarrassing. That actually is the entire right wing. Go on right wing Twitter. Go on right wing Twitter. Go on right wing Twitter and look at what the Republicans say about communism. They think it's a thing. They really think it's a thing. They think it's coming for the United States. It's like actually laughable. It's actually hilarious. It's totally deranged. Yeah, but it's not just the European states. The US is obsessed with Russia. It has been for a long time. I think somebody just requested to join my TikTok as a guest. I could first let me know what you want to talk about or why you're requesting to join. The second thing is, if I do, then I wouldn't be able to have it be that much longer because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. The EU is pushing. Guys, I'm not saying that Russia isn't in the wrong for anything. Of course, Russia's belligerent. I'm not saying that they're not, but two things can be true at once. Everybody has their own interests. I'm not defending Putin. I'm not defending Russia. I'm not saying that Russia doesn't do belligerent things. Of course it does. But two things can be true at once. They can be belligerent, and also the US has interest in making sure that Russia doesn't expand. I'm not like claiming that like they don't have anything bad about them. I know that there is a certain contingent. It's not a big contingent, but there is a certain contingent on the left that their whole foreign policy ideology is just America bad. Like, that's the whole ideology. That's the beginning and the end of the story. They don't care what other human rights violations any other country does. Their whole worldview is just America bad. So any other country is by default good. It's like, no, I'm not saying that. Obviously, Russia has human rights abuses that they've engaged in. China has human rights abuses they've engaged in. North Korea has human rights abuses they've engaged in. Bye, Eric. Did you see the Trump comparison on The Daily Show on his insults toward Biden and Harris? Yes. Yes, I did, old Boney Bird. That was really funny. That was actually really funny. Yeah, truth teller, you said it's because America has been bad for the last 120 years. Yes, but just because America's bad doesn't mean by default other countries can't do bad things also. Yes, that Trump thing was really funny. Trump is such a clown. Who is instigating trouble, Russia or America? Well, yeah, they're both imperial nations. I would love to debate Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a lunatic. He's a psycho. I would love to debate him. Come on, guys, start that campaign to get me on Piers, but do you condemn Hamas Morgan? Get me on Piers, but do you condemn Hamas Morgan? I want to be invited on Piers Morgan, and don't tell me that I'm not well known enough not to do it, because he brings on nobodies all the time. Okay? Piers Morgan brings on no ones all the time to his show. So get me on Piers, but do you condemn Hamas Morgan, and let me debate a Zionist. Let me debate a Zionist. I need you guys to help this campaign. Tag Piers Morgan. Tag Piers Morgan. Tell him to let me in, coach. I know. Yeah, well, that's true. Animan, you're right. I do need to expand my YouTube channel, which is why you should all follow me on YouTube. Well, actually, first of all, number one, you should all follow me on YouTube so that I can expand my YouTube channel. So then maybe Piers, but do you condemn Hamas Morgan will notice me. But also, I kind of don't even buy that argument, because he's brought some big nobodies on there. Real nobodies. So why can't this nobody come on? Okay? He lets all kinds of nobodies on there. Why doesn't he let this nobody on here? I'm just saying, hey, I'm not the one who brought it up. Somebody brought up saying that they wish that I could debate a Zionist or Ben Shapiro. And I said, I would love to. And a great venue for that would be Piers, but do you condemn Hamas Morgan? I think Ayers is going to be any different. Yeah, that's true. I have very much thoroughly enjoyed watching the right wing meltdown. I have enjoyed that. That has been fun. It's I am Blakely. It's I am Blakely on all my platforms. It's just that on Twitter and on Instagram, I have like an underscore sign, because people already took just at I am Blakely on Instagram and Twitter, but it's at I am Blakely by itself on all the other ones. And you know what really chaps my ass about that? Instagram and Twitter already took the handles at I am Blakely by themselves, but they don't use them. Like, whoever uses at I am Blakely who took it, neither of those accounts use their accounts. So I can't use the handle because someone already took it, but the accounts aren't even being used. Truth teller, you think Ben Shapiro is intelligent and well-spoken? Don't make me laugh. Ben Shapiro is not so smart and well-spoken. No, he ain't. Ben Shapiro is the stupid ideas person of a smart person. Oh my gosh, Ben Shapiro, he's not smart. You know why Ben Shapiro never debates people that are not already college students? Except he's not about facts. He's not about facts at all. Ben Shapiro will be like, facts don't care about your feelings, man. Facts don't care about your feelings, man. And then when you like bring up Gaza, he's all in his feelings. He's all in his feelings, okay? I'm not sure where he shoots his show. If I don't think that Piers Bud Hamas Morgan shoots his show in New York, but if he did, I would go there in person. I'd go there in person. Yeah, I actually think it's hilarious that there are people that think that Ben Shapiro is so smart and such a good debater. No, he's not. That's why he stays in his bubble. He'll only debate people that are in college or if he has the microphone and they can't talk. He can't like actually sit there and debate somebody who is on the left and can call his bullshit. That's why he refuses to debate Norman Finkelstein. He lives in a bubble. He lives in a bubble of right-wing lunacy. You guys, Ben Shapiro talks about communism being a threat to the United States. That's how delusional he is. Like, he thinks that's a thing. Facts don't care about your feelings until we start talking about Gaza. And then they do care about your feelings. And inflation's really bad. But I can't really tell you that a lot of inflation was actually created by the Trump administration because I don't want to piss off my right-wing base. Meh, meh. I'm Ben Shapiro. I just talk about how facts don't care about your feelings, but and how much I hate America, but I won't criticize the Israeli regime. Yeah, exactly. McCarthyism is so 1950, but they still live in the 50s. If you think communism is a threat to the United States in the year of our Lord 2024, and you're willing to get on Al Gore's internet and say that without being embarrassed, I do not know what to tell you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Communism is not a threat to anywhere, let alone the United States of America. Get out of here. LOL. Hi, I'm Ben Shapiro, and I defend Israel more than I'll even defend America. Meh. Meh. Bro, I don't think anybody that's actually like an adult watches Ben Shapiro. His shit is all for like angry teenage boys. I'm Ben Shapiro, and communism is a big threat to the United States. And now, a word from our sponsors over at some right-wing gold company. Yeah, Ben Shapiro. Somebody in the chat earlier was like, Ben Shapiro is like a great debater. No, he's not. He won't even debate Norm Finkelstein. He's afraid of debating Norm Finkelstein. He's afraid of debating Sam Cedar. The only reason why anybody would think that Ben Shapiro actually had anything intelligent to say is because they live in a right-wing bubble. They don't watch anything that is not in the right-wing bubble. And I can say that because I do watch Ben Shapiro, bitch. I listen to Ben Shapiro so that I know exactly the kind of chicanery that you guys are going to come in here and say. That is exactly the reason why I watch right-wing media. I watch right-wing media so that I know the kind of nonsense that the right wing is going to spew. It's important to know what your enemy is thinking. Steve, the Democrat, wrote, if I were to see the video that Elon watched, would you accept the attacks happen or would you say they were fabricated? Some attacks did happen, but not the ones that they claim. I never said that the attacks didn't happen. I never said they didn't happen. I've seen videos of some of them, but I know that they made a lot of shit up. And I know that a lot of what they claim happened didn't happen. And the reason why they don't want us to see the video is because they can't substantiate anything they're claiming. I'm not going to go off of his vibes. There needs to be evidence for such claims. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I didn't say that the attacks themselves didn't happen. I said the narrative around the attacks, why you say the attacks happen, that's propaganda. And a lot of the atrocity propaganda that was actually straight up made up or taken from things that they do to Palestinians. I don't even know what that means. Thank you, Ed. No, I'm not saying I need to see every single person, but you know what? If you are claiming that all of these things happened and that you have video of them and evidence and that they were so heinous that you need to go in and wipe out an entire population of people, I'm going to need to see some evidence for that. I'm not just going to take your word for it. And they also lied about a bunch of things, which really doesn't help your cause. It doesn't help your cause when you lie about why it happened. It doesn't help your cause when you create out of whole cloth dramatic atrocity propaganda in order to get people to feel some kind of way and emotional so you can justify further action. Steve, I don't know how you can watch. They claim all this stuff happened. They claim all this stuff happened, but they refuse to show us any of the video footage of these things that supposedly happened. Yet, do you not see the videos coming out of Gaza, Steve? Do you not see them? Do you not see the videos coming out of Gaza of the children? I don't know how any thinking, feeling human being can see the videos that have come out of Gaza and not be totally disgusted and horrified. I don't know. I don't know. Is this even working on Instagram? Bro, I think I tried to go live on Instagram, but it didn't work. I think. Anyway, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do, you guys. Yeah, King, I'm doing it on. Thank you, Iori. Good to see you. All right, guys, I have a lot of work I got to do, but I really wanted to get on a live because I had been out of town and I wanted to see everybody and say hi to everybody, including my haters. Hi, haters. Hi, haters. Um, Palestine has a right to defend itself. Palestine has a right to exist. Free Palestine. I love you all who aren't haters. I've got a lot of work to do. Don't forget, Saeed donated a bunch of free memberships to YouTube, so you can go to my YouTube and take those free memberships. Also remember, especially to my haters, that you can donate to my work on my Venmo at I am Blakely, or you can send super chats, or you can become a member on my Ko-Fi. So thank you. I'm glad I got to talk to everybody. I'm glad I got to hang out with you guys for a while. I'm going to do another live, but in the meantime, you can catch me on TikTok and on YouTube, although I might do another live this weekend. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on how much other work I have to do. But I love you all, and free Palestine. And I'll see you guys later. La 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 la.